Don't let your kids watch it!
Welcome everyone to the UndercoverBrony Reviews. The episode reviewed today will be Winter Wishday, written by Dave Horowitz. So we have Winter Wishday here, and thank God it's better.
Ho, ho, ho.
Getting in the spirit early, I see.
Yeah. This is not quite themed appropriately shirt, but it is an ugly Christmas sweater, so I think that counts.
Yeah. It's an ugly Cider Fest sweater. What can be better?
Yeah, I love it. I'm actually, my beer of the day, I'm drinking something Christmas related. It's a gingerbread stout.
Ooh.
It's actually this gingerbread stout,
Okay.
but bourbon barrel aged. So it's going to hit
Ooh.
really hard, probably.
So by the end, you're just going to be totally sloshed.
We'll find out.
Here we go. Let's see how the night goes.
It's pretty boozy. It was really interesting to finally see the main six have their own Christmas special.
Wait, this isn't G4. This is G5.
Oh, you're forgetting about Senior Butterscotch.
Oh, yes.
The robot donkey.
You know what's funny? When I was trying to search for that character's name,
yeah,
nothing was showing up. I thought it was Senor Scratchy, but that's the bunny from WandaVision. So I'm trying to be like, what is Izzy's robot companion thing? And nothing was coming up.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's like, why? No.
You're like, why do I keep getting pictures of Mexican chocolates? Or whatever, Senior Butterscotch. It's like a candy bar brand in Mexico.
Yep. So far, I will say, just from this intro alone, the whole animation, the rigs, the lighting, they look so good. Like, compared to and I know we're going to say this almost constantly with this, but compared to Make Your Mark Chapter 1, this is a massive improvement. Absolutely massive.
Definitely.
So
definitely in watchability.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Because it's like the first Make Your Mark had no plot whatsoever. And we were just sitting there like, when is this going to end? And here we're just like, hey, it's actually going at a pretty decent pace. It's not rushing itself. It's not slowing down too much. It has some good jokes here. And it has an actual story. Thank God.
Yeah, I will say that like when I finally sat down with the attention span to like watch something, it did breeze by pretty fast. Like I kept checking the time, being like, oh man, there's probably gonna be like 25 minutes left, and I was like, oh wow, there's like 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
But here's the thing: with that pacing, it's not a bad thing. It's like, oh hey, that's what's going on.
I feel like that's honestly just for most movies and TV shows, things that seem to move by quickly usually means, I think, that it's pretty good, instead of feeling like, oh god, it felt like a 3-hour movie or something, you know? Yeah. So I thought that, that's a good sign.
So one of the other things, kind of going past the intro, is the fact that they're trying to remix a couple Christmas songs. So like this first one is it's doing a ripoff of We Wish You a Merry Christmas. However, with this one, I wrote it down word for word, and I quote, "We whisk you some tasty cookies, we whisk you some frosted goodies, we wish you a yummy wish day and a happy new moon." Now, that brings up two things. One, this is no longer heartwarming. It's just Wish Day now.
Yeah.
So I gotta wonder where the holidays got crisscrossed and why it got changed. But the second thing that this brings up, I know when we talked about in our New Generation review, we're like, she's been doing this for the past 20 moons. And we were like, well, moons in G4 were all about the lunar cycle, about 28 days. So it's like, oh, it's only been 2.5 years. Apparently with this, saying Happy New Moon, I'm guessing that's their way of calling it a year.
Yeah.
Because if we're going off the We Wish You a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, that's exactly what this would be. So,
Yeah.
Canto Logic was actually running for 20 years. Holy crap, was that shit oppressive. But yeah, this has been great so far. Like I said, I like how the tone for the characters, like the color tone, is not as bright as it was in the first Make Your Mark, because I feel like they tried to like overexpose it to kind of hide the animation quirks, but here they have
can see that.
a lot better lighting for the rigs. So the main plot for this is that Sunny wants to have her friends up at the Bright House for this Wishday event, which is this shooting star that goes across the sky. And she has this thing in her phone that's tracking it. So kind of like that Santa tracker that we get for Christmas.
Yeah, I really actually didn't. I think when I first started the special the other day, I was super not into it and didn't catch that until like halfway or later on in the special, and I went, oh, okay, that's what that thing is for. Because like at first I was like, oh, she just has like this is their equivalent of a watch, I guess, and then I realized, oh, okay, this is counting down to that event she's talking about, because I'm an idiot and I didn't realize that. I did think that it was slightly confusing that this Christmas or not Christmas or yes Christmas special was like really confusing. They named it 3 different things. We've got Wishy Hoof, which is Izzy's holiday. Wishentine's Day, which seems like that's Valentine's Day, so I don't know what that's about. And then Winter Wish Day, which is Winter Wish Day and Wishentine's Day the same?
I have no idea.
Because like they seem, I don't know, that's weird. But anyway, but yeah, like you were talking about the songs. That's why I'm like, it's Christmas, it's not Christmas, but it's Christmas. Like it's like they're trying to be like, it's not Christmas, it's Wishmas or whatever.
Wishmas.
But then, yeah, or wait, that's not what it's called? Hold on, Wish Day. I'm sorry, Wish Day. It's very confusing, John.
I know.
But she's singing basically "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" and "Deck the Halls" because she says "fa la 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 la." So it's like you're basically using these like classic Christmas carols, but then not calling it Christmas. That's a little weird.
Yeah,
and it's one thing to like write your own music, which they do. But then it's also another thing to just be like, hey, we're using these classic carols, and it's not Christmas.
Yeah,
It's kind of funny. Although, I did like when Zip is just weirdly saying me, 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 me in a weird voice. Me, 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 me. It says, Zip looks like a cat that's been splashed. Sounds like it too, or maybe it's a goat. Like, but she's like me, 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 or whatever. It says, it says, or one of those cute, weird dwarf cats with the floppy ears. Like,
well, I do have to say, you were talking about how she sounds like a cat that just got splashed. Zip is totally unenthused here, and she's just like, why the fuck are we having to do this?
Yeah, I was honestly surprised that she volunteered to do that.
I know. I think she has to do it out of obligation, though, more than anything else. But I do have to say, when you were talking about Wishmas, just fuck it, just put them both together, and we'll be fine.
Yeah. One thing I thought was interesting, I guess this is in that scene, but I wrote down that there's, at some point near the beginning, it had to have been in the first 4 or 5 minutes, there's a Twilight Sparkle poster.
Oh, okay.
Which I thought was cool, because I felt like, I can't recall exactly, but I felt like in the first movie they were like, oh, that Twilight Sparkles was like a legend, man. And I'm like, well, you're producing merchandise for it, though? Like, I don't know, I thought that was funny.
So not only does Sunny want to show her friends this wishing comet sort of thing, but Izzy wants to talk about her own holiday, and the Pegasi want to have like this big bash of a theater performance. But you said you had something that you wanted to talk about with Izzy.
Oh, we can get to it later.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we can get to it sequentially, but basically, it's confirmed that Izzy's Jewish.
Yes.
She's celebrating Hanukkah.
Yep.
which is cool.
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
I thought that was cool how they like metaphorically incorporated Hanukkah into this Christmas special.
Well, that's kind of weird because you have the simultaneous thing of her being Jewish, but also having all these healing crystal things. It's like, that's kind of a weird combination.
So she's also New Age.
Yeah, she's just New Age Jewish. Let's just call it that.
She's only Jewish when Mercury's in retrograde. Which is all the time, by the way, just in case you didn't understand that.
Oh.
But, retrograde, whatever.
Right, right. So they were like, we want to get to all these different things. Sonny's like, yeah, let's do it. We'll have plenty of time. And Hitch wants to bring them to his grandmother's house to do gingerbread houses. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool.
I thought that was sweet.
So Zip and Izzy bring them outside of the Crystal Bright house. And they pull open a curtain and they're like, we think this unicycle thing can fly. They're also bringing out the lantern that Missy was trying to get in one of the episodes. Yeah. And
which we have not reviewed yet.
Yes, we're getting there. We're getting there.
I'm looking forward to that.
All of a sudden, that prismium magic transforms this hunk of junk into a flying RV that Zip affectionately calls the Mairstream.
Yeah, the reason she calls it that, so I didn't catch that until late in the episode because my note says it's a little like Voltron. When all five combine, they get a space Winnebago. But like in Spaceballs. But Mairstream is a play on Airstream, which is like one of those little metal campers.
Okay. That's interesting.
Because she said it like halfway through the episode. They may have said it early, and I just didn't catch it. But one of my friends used to work in a coffee. He's actually a brony.
Okay.
He used to work in a coffee shop, and they called it the Airstream, and it's because that's a type of like camper vehicle.
Okay. But also, I'm just gonna say, this RV, this Mairstream. Enjoy your new playset, little girls. Just saying. And probably bronies too. I know we collect that shit.
Izzy gets a little metal when she is talking about it.
Oh yeah, it's
she just
great.
like the hardcore rocker voice.
The Mairstream! I mean, that's an option I was thinking of. We totally don't have to use it or whatever.
And then they all get on, and they're like, this looks like it seats 6, and I don't think Sparky's among that 6. And Izzy...
My man, Senior Butterscotch!
Senior Butterscotch.
The robot donkey!
I have to say... Donkey!
Senior Butterscotch, más delicioso, or something like that. It sounds like Mexican candy.
Yeah.
Senior Butterscotch, más delicioso, por favor. I don't know why I said please at the end of that. But it does, doesn't it? I want a Senior Butterscotch.
Right.
I actually want a donkey robot, too. So I want two
Have a donkey
Senior
robot that dispenses butterscotch for you.
This man is a genius, and he needs to be celebrated for it. All right, let's move on.
Yes.
We can't talk about Senior Butterscotch for the entire episode.
No.
We have to save that for the Senior Butterscotch podcast later.
Yes. I have to say that I love that they are bringing other elements from Tell Your Tale into this, which is great. But one of the other great things is that it's like, do we have driver's licenses for these? And then Izzy just whips up a couple driver's licenses real quick, and it's like, he hands it to Hitch, and Hitch's like, yeah, this checks out. Let's go.
Yeah, you're right. Officer Hitch watches her create a fake ID and doesn't bust her for like any of the 2 to 3 crimes she's committed in that scene. Must be nice.
Yeah. Must be nice to be friends of the law.
The bus comes with a complimentary Tesla pad, by the way.
Oh, yeah, it does.
that controls all of the functions.
And
pretty good.
One other thing I'm going to say, I know we're probably going to mention this again, but surprisingly, I know, John, you've been saying that you think Sparky is a fucking abomination.
He is, and I've got more. I have more evidence tonight, waiting to be exposed.
Well, here's what's funny. for the majority of this, I was actually laughing at some of his antics, like when he's bouncing around inside the RV.
In my notes. I've got that in my notes. All right, but anyway.
So they go over to Hitch's grandmother's house, and right when they land, one of the interesting things also is that they've talked about how it's snowing. It's never snowed before because Maritime Bay is a beachside town. So it's like, okay, that's kind of interesting. We don't realize why until later, but that's not really important right now. What is important is the fact that they get to Hitch's grandmother's house, and he's talking about how you gotta be just very careful because my grandmother likes everything just right, and all that stuff. And then we later find out through the course of this mini adventure, that it's actually Hitch who wants everything just so. But both him and his grandma are thinking that the other is the one that needs it just so. So they're just trying to appease the other in this case, which I think is, number one, actually pretty relatable for a lot of kids and their grandparents. But it's also really, really funny.
On the flight to Hitch's grandmother's house, they all put on hats. I think they all put them on then during the flight. And my question on the sheet is, why is Zip Rastafarian? Her hat looks like that, right? Yeah. She's the one celebrating Kwanzaa. Yeah. No. I also said a note here. Does Izzy's snack have glitter in it? Because it looked like it.
Knowing her, you know what? Fuck it, probably.
Yeah, because that must be gross, aside from the fact that shit gets everywhere.
Yeah.
Glitter gets everywhere. Mm-hmm. Don't use glitter. It gets everywhere. You can't get it out. I worked in a restaurant, and at that restaurant, in the early days of the restaurant, there was a bachelorette party there. And they had these, like, glitter confetti dicks.
Oh, like no.
Little tiny, like, small confetti dicks.
Yeah.
And they fucking went everywhere.
Uh-huh.
And they tried to sweep them up and, like, vacuum them up or whatever, but they were, like, everywhere.
Uh-huh.
So, like, every so often for years, we would just be, like, in a cabinet somewhere and be like, there's another fucking confetti dick. We're like, so, this is an anti-glitter PSA. Okay, my last thing was... Yeah,
because you don't want dicks everywhere.
Yeah, I know. All right. The other things that I had to say about the flight there was the aircraft seems pretty comfortable other than the intense vomiting from all the swaying.
Yeah.
The plane is doing this as they were, like, flying along. It's like, oh!
Yeah. It's like, so I actually have a story for this.
Yes.
Last year, I was at another job, and they took us out fishing on the Lake Michigan, because I'm right next to the Great Lakes, and they take us out probably about 9 miles off the coast, and let me tell you, I was not expecting it to sway that much. It was literally like this.
Oh.
And it was literally like that the whole time. And oh my gosh. Here's the funny thing. I didn't get sick, but I was literally just sitting out there the whole time. Because if I was inside, I definitely would have gotten sick. But my buddy, my coworker on the other side of the boat, he actually got sick like right before we were about to catch our first fish. And we just kept joking and saying, hey, you gave him chum so that we could get the fish.
I was going to say that. That's great.
We were all laughing and having fun. It was great.
Yeah, that's great. Nice. That sounds like a nice time.
Yeah,
just like in the show, except for the intense vomiting. I said right before they land at Hitch's grandmother's house, there's a texting while driving joke. Because there are these two like guys flying and they're looking at their phones and they're like, "Eyes on the road, motherfuckers," or whatever.
Eyes on the sky and not on your screens, Phillies.
One of the great things is that they make these gingerbread houses, and I have to say, all the different gingerbread houses that they make was absolutely wonderful. I especially love Izzy's, where she just takes a bunch of lollipops and puts them together along with everything, and I'm like, that is so cute. That is just so adorable.
Yeah.
And then right at the end, right as they're leaving, they get figgy pudding. It's like, thanks for the figgy pudding.
Yeah. Again, actually Christmas.
Uh-huh.
No, just kidding. Wait, what even is figgy pudding? Have you ever had it?
No, but
It's a real thing.
but
right?
every time I hear "We wish you a Merry Christmas,"
Yeah.
it's like, give us the fucking figgy pudding because we aren't gonna fucking leave it till you give us some.
We're not gonna take it. Before we leave Hitch's grandmother's house, Stitch showed me exactly why he's an abomination yet again. They're like, hey, this is this teapot we've used for 30 years. Now it's a pillow.
Yeah.
Fuck your memories, kid. like, I'd be like, oh, we got to put that thing down. Like, what the hell,
one
man?
other thing that I have to say that I loved in this whole thing was that there was all these pictures of Hitch when
Yeah.
he was younger.
I
And
thought that
oh my
was cute.
gosh, he was so adorable in those.
I loved that.
I think
That's
there was
very
one
adorable.
where he was like a sailor or something like that.
Was he really?
It was so
I'm
cute.
gonna go back and look at that now. Put that in this episode, so I
Right,
can
right.
look at it, and I don't have to go watch the episode again.
Right.
But yeah, that sounds great. I thought that like the like it was like 3 photos, and then she took the new photo, and I thought it was cute because it was like the he was like a baby, he was like a kid. He was like closer to what he is now, and then he was like a dad to Stitch or whatever.
Yeah.
That was good.
So,
It was
so
very
you're
adorable.
just naming
Heartwarming.
Sparky
Yes.
Stitch
Sparky
instead of
Stitch.
fucking Abomination.
Yeah, he's Stitch.
Okay.
Stitch is also a little bit of an abomination.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, he is an alien after all.
Stitch is a dick, but I love him.
Right.
He's a dick, right?
Right? Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've seen Lilo and Stitch, but I'm pretty sure he's a dick.
Oh yeah.
But a cool dick.
So then they're moving on to Bridalwood, and they get over there and they talk about this wishing tree.
On the way to Bridalhood.
on,
Bridalwood?
on the way to the hood.
Yeah, that's right. On the way to the hood, where she celebrates Kwanzaa. No, she celebrates Hanukkah. Okay. No, I wrote down, first off, before we get there, as Zip leaves, she's playing detective, and she finds a book about... It's a mysterious book about the holiday that... what's it called? Excuse me. Wishy-hoof. And I wrote down like Wendigos ?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I thought that's where they're maybe leading with this. But like on the way to Bridalwood, she's like full steam ahead or full speed ahead, and then it's like, oops, we're all out of nitrous.
Oh yeah.
it goes for like 0.3 seconds, and then it's like, ew.
It's like that scene for the first Fast and Furious. Dude, I almost had you.
Yeah. I thought of that actually. Okay, good.
One thing I have to say, and I noticed this while we were over here, but the hoofs, the pony's hooves, don't make any imprint on the snow whatsoever. So there's
that's
no
lazy.
imprints. So I'm like, okay, animation error, just saying.
Money.
Yeah.
Laziness.
It's better, but it's not completely there yet.
I mean, I didn't notice it, but I can't believe I didn't notice it.
And I have to say, they bring back 2 of the ponies that are my favorite background characters from the entire thing. And that's the one who's playing the bongos, and then the one who's reciting the poems. I have to say, I love them so much, especially the chick that does the poems with that little hat on. It's adorable.
Her name's Onyx.
Yes, Onyx. I love it.
I looked up that when it was in that scene. Also, that other guy shows up again.
Yeah,
What's his name?
Alphabettal.
Alphabettal, yeah.
And I have to say, oh my gosh, you know what? This guy kind of does sound like Phil Lamar. Okay, good on ya.
Yeah, like he showed up and I was like, oh yeah, I remember this guy. This is a good guy. And then he's a dick, and I went, oh yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like I forgot that he's a dick. But I was gonna say they play charades for her ornament, and I was like, what the hell? What kind of charades game doesn't have both sides play? Like he did his charade, and then he was like, all right, I win, and I was like, doesn't she get to go?
Yeah.
Is that not how it works?
Well, I have to say my favorite part about that whole thing is that he's like, I win, hand over your thing, and she looks sad for a second and then goes and pulls out an exact copy of that ornament.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? You didn't expect me to get two at once?
Yeah. I think that she. So I don't know if I was reading too much into it, but like she was all like, "Oh yeah, I made a second one in case I lost one in a game of charades, bitch," or whatever. And like, I felt like really she was like, I wanted to gift this guy the gift of playing a charade, and also I made him an ornament.
I don't know. I'm more thinking like, hey, you may have gotten me, but I got you back, bitch.
What? That's like, I bought 2 PS5s, and you won one of them, and I got you, bitch. I got a second PS5. Like, what? Like, that logic is like, meh.
Well, it is Izzy. Don't question it.
That's true. Yeah, she's crazy.
Now we're finding out that Izzy says that they have this greeting to each other that called Frosty Shivers. Yes. And I noticed it at first that every time they said Frosty Shivers, their horns would glow. I thought that that was just something, maybe they weren't doing anything crazy with it. They were just lighting their horns, kind of like an extra oomph.
Yeah.
Turns out later in the episode they were actually casting spells, causing everything to get colder and colder and colder.
Alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. You're already watching this review. Why would we give you any spoiler alert?
Frosty Shine. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm reading my handwriting and it looks like Frosty Shiners, and
No, I'm thinking Frosty Shiners like you're just
beating him in the eye.
Yeah.
with a snowball. You got a snowball.
No, it's a cold fist. So it's a Frosty.
Yeah.
Frosty Shiner.
Well, for what it's worth, Frosty Shiners or Frosty Shivers, neither sound pleasant.
Yeah.
So I don't know why that's a happy greeting. It's like, Frosty Shivers sounds terrible. It's like, oh, Frosty Shivers. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why?
You're reminding me how cold it is. Stop.
Yeah.
So then Izzy goes and gets in line to hang up her ornament on the wishing tree. And I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah.
And they lit up the last crystal, and it's
Candle of Hanukkah.
Yeah.
The last candle of Hanukkah.
Yeah. And the whole tree just starts shining, and is freaking like all the area just starts shining. It's beautiful.
Yeah. No, it was cool.
And then
just like actual Hanukkah.
Yes, exactly. Then they go back on the RV, and they're heading over to Zephyr Heights. Sunny kind of gives them a quick reminder, hey, we are getting a little bit tight on schedule here. Let's move it on. And so Zip and Pip legit just throw their mom by the wayside. It's like, ooh, look at this. Ooh, look at this. Ooh, look at this. Ooh, look at this. And just rushing through it. And I'm thinking, first of all, I get it. But second of all, that's your mother you're talking about. Like, why? And then they find out the last second that the 3-act play they were supposed to do, they just doubled it to 6 acts?
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
I laughed when they're like, this is one of 6 acts. And I went, what?
Yeah. And Sunny's like, are you kidding me?
Before they get to the reveal that the play is 6 acts, Sunny and Hitch and the baby, is there somebody else?
And Izzy
are in like the green room or whatever of the VIP box, and like the guards are like, they're like going through stuff and they're like, "What's this? It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
package. It's empty." And the guards are like, "Oh yeah, those are like clouds or something."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Did these guards steal all the presents or whatever?
Well,
Did they commit larceny on the job?"
well, I'm thinking like it's like all of those buildings that will look like gifts on the bottom of their tree, but really it's just empty boxes. But they want to make it look like it's presents. And
Yeah,
stuff like
no,
that.
yeah. Yeah, I just thought it was funny because like before, like they revealed like, oh yeah, those are just prop boxes or whatever. It seemed like it was like these guards like took off with the goods. So like these guys are like they're working under the table. Like I don't know
Yeah,
what's
Zoom
going
and
on
Thunder.
here.
These guys are great.
I like them. They're great. They are great.
They're
Really
they're
like them.
funny as hell. I like how throughout this whole play that everyone's falling asleep through it because they're not used to it being 6 acts. Even Zip and Pip are falling asleep. And I have to say, when they both come around and fluff their wings like that, I'm like, okay, that's pretty dope.
This is the first kind of pretty good song I think in this special. What do you think?
I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it a lot.
Did you like any of the songs before that? We haven't really talked about the songs.
The
They're
first,
all short and not.
Yeah, they're kind of short.
Or were you gonna say the first song was okay, right?
Yeah. First song was decent, and then
Do you think the first song sounded a little bit like they were trying to do like the Mariah Carey?
I was thinking that. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh!
Yeah, I got like way big. What is it? All I want to do for Christmas? No, that's not
All
it.
I want for Christmas.
All I want
is
for
you.
Christmas is you. I got strong. All I want for Christmas is you vibes from that
Well-
opening song.
During this holiday season, whenever I hear that song, I want to take a gun and I want to shoot every speaker that is playing that godforsaken stupid song.
So, related story. I used to really like that song a
What?
long time ago. And then today, we were watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and they were like, "Oh, by the way, we got a special surprise today. We got Mariah Carey coming out." And I was like, "Oh no!" And then like Mariah Carey came out and lip synced the song, obviously, because she can't sing it anymore.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was like, God, I hate this song now. Like I used to love that song back in like high school or something, but yeah, I hate that song now. They played it to death.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna also end up hating "Last Christmas" by Wham, and I used to like that song a lot too.
Yeah.
My supervising teacher in Japan, who was from America, he plays a game called Whamageddon.
Oh,
and it's
no.
like, who can get through the Christmas season the longest without hearing the Wham Last Christmas song? He hates it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it took 6 hours.
Yeah,
or
it
whatever.
took six acts. Oh my gosh. And so they get outside and they realize that it snowed over everything. It's like a fucking blizzard out there. So they're like, how are we going to find this? And they grab the lamp and it acts like a key fob where all these lights come on, and then then it lifts out of the snowbank and shit, and I'm just like, God fucking damn it. So then they get back. They're trying to figure out why it keeps getting colder and colder and colder, and they come to find out these frosty shivers that they've been doing. They've been accidentally casting spells.
Correct.
My first reaction is, okay, like
The holiday's gonna end.
yeah,
so.
like so the whole time they were wondering why it was snowing. It was because the unicorns kept saying frosty shivers, kept the snow going, kept the cold going, all that stuff. So they're just like, hey, we need to do something else.
I did write though, because at that point they all end up being like, "Warm wishy up to you, warm wishy up to you, warm wishy up," and then it's like it gets warm, and then like the snow kind of melts away, and then it's like the stones all turn from blue to orange, and like it's like, oh, the snow's going away. I'm like, okay, but don't say warm wishy up too much because climate change really all.
Yeah, right.
Like let's not global warming this. shit.
No, don't get Al Gore out there,
Don't go
okay?
crazy.
Oh man. But yeah, they're just like, yeah, do warm wishy up, and they do it, and everything. The day is saved.
Thanks to the Powerpuff Girls.
Yes. By the new 5. But they finally
6.
yes, the new 6.
Don't forget about Senior
Senior
Butterscotch.
Butterscotch. So they get to the lighthouse just in time to see that shooting star. And I actually thought throughout this whole special, because they gave him a time limit, I thought that it was going to be something along the lines of they were going to miss it. Kind of like how they did Once Upon a Zeppelin, where Twilight didn't get to see the shower, the star shower that she wanted to see because she was so involved in everything else. But they didn't do that.
Right.
And I have to say that Sunny, while she was like, hey, kind of got to get a move on here, she was also like, hey, I'm here to support my friends too. And I'm like, thank you. That's good. That's very, very good. Much better than that last special. We're just like, no, magic is not glitching. Like, shut up. You know.
So when they're there, they're like, oh, I thought you were going to say this, so I was waiting for you to say it. But they're like, oh, yeah, I forgot presents. And they're like, I forgot presents. I'm like, I forgot presents. Well, really the present is friendship and like being here. And I'm like, well, also, Izzy actually gave you all physical gifts of scarves.
Yes. That was great.
She's the only person who actually, she even was like, oh, I forgot. I think she might have been the first to be like, I forgot your presents. And I'm like, no, you gave them all scarves.
Yeah, you already gave them the presents. You're good. But I have to say, not just the fact that it's like the gift is the friendship. I have to say that the way I interpreted it was that the gift for each other was actually the experiences they got throughout the day.
Yeah.
And I was like, that right there is great. Because
but also the scarves.
Yeah, but also the scarves.
Yeah.
But I have to say, like, that really kind of hits me because there are so many people out there, and this is one thing that really bothers me about the Christmas season, is the fact that it's all about the gift giving and all that stuff and our capitalistic culture. But I find the experience of it to be a lot more enjoyable than getting a gift. Now, granted, this is coming from a dude who's 31 and likes to get socks for Christmas. But at the same time, it's one of those things where I'm very happy for those experiences much more than I am about the gifts. But that's just me.
No, I have to say, like, I'm really bad at receiving gifts. And I'm not, and I feel bad receiving gifts, but I love giving gifts. I don't know if that's like a normal thing, but like I love to give people that I know presents, but I always feel like guilty receiving a lot of stuff. I'm like, I don't need all this stuff.
No,
I like to give you guys stuff.
I get you, dude. I'm very similar. When I know that there's a gift that I'm really excited to give someone, being able to see their reaction and seeing their eyes light up when they get it, it's the best feeling in the world, dude.
Yeah. So I have one final note besides like my 5 laugh things. And my final note says, "Oh snap! This ended with the birth of Christ." because when that like she's like, "Oh, here it is. We got the time. Here, 3, 2, 1," and the star goes like and turns into the North Star.
Yeah,
I was like,
and
what?
And then all their cutie marks.
This takes place in 1 year BC or whatever. Like.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was when ponies took place.
Well, I have to also say they have those cutie marks show up in the
like
night
the
sky.
bat signals?
Yeah, I'm thinking they're superheroes again. All right, buckle up, guys. Let's do it.
Power ponies.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So the only other note I had was I originally wrote this as. There were 2 moments of actual laughter that I experienced from this special, and then it turned into 5 because they continued to happen. But the 5 moments were, I didn't rewind it, but I'm pretty sure there was like a weird Mexican sounding laugh of the robot donkey. She's like, "Oh yeah, here's Senior Butterscotch," and it was like "El ha ha" or something like that. I don't remember what. I'll have to go back and see it, but I feel like it sounded like "ha ha ha" or something like that. It was good. That was the first moment. The second was like you mentioned earlier about Stitch and all his, because I've hated him in the past because he's an abomination, and he has like these weird like Thanos reality stone powers that it's like disturbing power where it's like, oh yeah, now your face is ribbons or whatever, you know, it's like whatever he does, you know. But he was actually good in this one. The second part was when they were like almost gonna crash. No, yeah, they were almost gonna crash because the wings froze on the plane. And then they were like, everybody concentrate on a happy time of landing and we're at the place that we need to be. And then like Stitch makes some weird noise. Not the first time, but the second time that he's like, ah! It was hilarious. And I laughed at that. The third thing was, this is maybe my favorite laugh of the whole show, probably.
Okay.
And it was when they were in the 6-act play. They're like, so this is the first of 6 acts.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, 6 acts? And then Sonny was like, 6 acts? And then it goes like 6 acts. And then like the echo of that was hilarious. That was my favorite part of the whole episode.
We will begin with Act 1 of 6. 6? Yes, 6!
My fourth moment was, I don't remember why at this point, because I don't have any context written for this because I was running out of space on my paper that's full of notes. But like, I have a note that says, Stitch does a full-on Owen Wilson wow. He says wow. Like, I don't remember why, but he goes wow or whatever. It's like, what?
Wow.
My fifth moment was when they go back to Bridalwood and they're about to be told that Frosty Shivers is making it colder and snowier. Before they go back and tell them that, this girl is like asking for like a hot tea to heat up from being frozen, and then he's like, Frosty Shivers to you, and then her hot tea like instantly turns to an ice cube and goes to the ground. That was my last laugh out loud moment.
Yeah,
But that was pretty good. I think that's pretty good to have 5 laugh out loud moments.
But yeah.
Frosty Shivers!
Yeah,
it's good.
So, like I said, this is a lot better than the first one. Thank God.
Agree. Yeah, I thought the show got better though.
Yeah, like this show is
This
getting
good,
better
too.
as time goes on, and I'm very happy about it.
Yeah, hopefully that continues.
So, overall, what did you think about this?
No, I enjoyed it. I'm not rushing to go back to watch it, but I will say this, and this is going to be an unpopular opinion. I like the lore of the Wendigos episode, but I never really liked the Wendigos episode very much.
Okay.
And so, like, I thought this was better than that.
Okay.
But I thought that it wasn't as good as the one where it's like A Christmas Carol, but with ponies. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I feel like I liked the what was the last one they did? It was like best gift ever.
Best gift ever.
Like yeah. I saw that at Ciderfest actually.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Rep and Ciderfest. I haven't seen it since then, but I remember really liking that. So I think that like it ranks better than my least favorite of the Christmas episodes, but it does not rank as high as my favorite of the Christmas episodes. But that said, I think that's like a strong 7, 7.5.
Okay.
How about you?
I would give this an 8. I thought, like I said, this is a lot better than I was expecting. It was very enjoyable. The pacing was really good. The story was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this one. So yeah, 8 for me.
Nice. Yeah, I think this is a fair rating.
Yep. So that's our review. What did you guys like about it? Put it down in the comments. We always love to see those. But until next time, that's it from me, John.
And that is it from me, John. Happy Thanksgiving and preemptively Merry Christmas.
Yes. And we will talk to you guys later. Peace out, Dragon.
Good night, y'all.